Hi peeps, how you doing? Oh look it, I got my auntie here.
Hello everyone.
She gets front row seats to my Weather Girl 3.
You go girl. What do you got for us today?
Okay, so it's been a while since we did the last video, and in the first one, if you haven't watched it, I explained that the earth is shifting as much as we are as well, but there was going to be a lot of inconsistent weather patterns, and so we've already seen it where there's been rain and cold. No sooner it's hot one day, it's cold the next. So this is going to continue through this year. I'm here, it's going to continue through next year as well. It's like anything else. When you're shedding stuff, you're getting rid of stuff you don't need anymore, and the earth wants to do that as well. So she's going to be shifting a lot of energy, and she's got a lot of pent-up energy. It's going to come out through volcanoes, it's going to come out through earthquakes, it's going to come out through rain, wind. Speaking of wind, I got wind of some things. So right now we've seen the rain, we've seen the cold. Now we're going to get into the wind. So we're going to see a lot of wind patterns, meaning tornadoes, hurricanes, cyclones. So let's get into a little detail here. So my little map. So down here, Antarctica, in my last video I was saying that there's drilling, there's energy going on down here. I don't believe that the scientists mean to be hurting the earth, but they are. And so the earth is upset because they are doing things that she doesn't like. So she's mad. So I have arrows here, and I can take a picture and post it, but there's arrows, so there's energy coming up this way. And so what it's doing is it is causing a mesocyclone pattern, which is going to start causing tornadoes. You're going to start seeing, because it's doing this, it's a swirl in energy. It's doing this coming up, but Antarctica is coming up this way. And up here in the Arctic, at the North Pole region, it's coming this way. So the two poles are starting to come together, which means the land masses are starting to shift. Now, is this going to happen all in a week or a year? No. This is going to take a long time, but it is happening. It's done it before, it's going to do it again. The earth goes in cycles. So because up here in the North Pole is coming down, the water is starting, we are starting to see where the water is rising all over the sea levels. So we're gonna see flooding like all in the Europe area, but we're also gonna start seeing it here down at the tips of Africa. So between Europe and Africa. Now, we've been seeing typical tornadoes in the Midwest, and now what I found was interesting was there was a tornado in Canada, which is not their typical behavior weather-wise. But we are going to start seeing, it's going to start picking up, and this is the norm for, you know, the certain places in the United States for tornadoes. But we are going to start seeing them up at the top portions of the United States, so like Montana, the upper states, and it's going to start pushing into Canada. So Canada is going to see some tornadoes. Will this be the norm? It might be for a cycle. Now, what I found interesting is because there's the mesocyclone, it's, you know, bringing it up here. So Central America like Mexico, they typically will get hurricanes, but they're gonna start seeing some tornadoes. So I'm getting, for the tornadoes, watch out East Coast, because you get them bad. They're gonna be bad this year. This whole eastern side, you guys are getting rain. The northern part of the United States is already seeing it in some places. They're just sporadic, and that's going to continue. But it's going to compound when the hurricane season starts to come through. So we're going to see that. So Puerto Rico had gotten hit. You know, we've seen this in the past, but it's going to ramp up. So I'm not kidding when I say it's going to ramp up. These are going to be pretty bad. So all in this area, but we're going to start seeing this from Mexico and into Central America. We're going to see that, and that's not a typical weather pattern for Central America, even for Chile, like in South America, but we're going to start seeing weather patterns that aren't typical because of what's going on. What I also found interesting is there's a cyclone energy, and I'll show you the picture, but it's coming up from the South Pole, Antarctica, coming up this way, and I have it going up towards Asia, Australia. So this area here in the Indian Ocean area, Pacific Ocean, around Japan, but Japan is gonna see a cyclone. Sorry. I'm still worried about Asia in this area with the earthquakes. I know that India's had some flooding. I think they're going to see some more, but I'm concerned about earthquakes in this area here. I got my big E. I've got the flooding here, but I think the flooding is also gonna be over here with the earthquakes. I just think this whole area over here is just really gonna get hit hard. Same with the eastern part of the United States. And I've been feeling this for a few months now. New Hampshire, Vermont, but Vermont seems strong for me. There is going to be something that happens there. It's going to be a tragedy. I still feel like it's an earthquake that's going to happen, but I'm very concerned about Vermont for some reason, and it's just strong for me. So don't be surprised if we see something for that. But I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I said I was doing these quarterly, so here is your wind report. I've been hearing wind, so the wind is going to pick up. Let's hope it doesn't bring the Santa Anas for us Californians. Yuck. So without further ado, do you want to say adios, people? Or do you have anything to add to this?
No, I just found it very interesting. We'll have to watch and see. But after watching this, make sure you download your FEMA app and your weather app. In case you're on the road, you've got to take cover. And that's all I have to say. So,
all right, we'll catch you next time. Have a great evening. Ta-ta.
Bye.